In recent years, it's become a common convention to convert an unordered list of links into a navigation bar. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to do that with this list of links at the top of the page in the Pacific Highway case study. The first step is to get rid of the bullets and the padding from the unordered list. So I'm going to click inside the unordered list, and I can see from the tag selector that I've got a nav element with the ID main nav, and the unordered list is inside there. So that's the style rule I need to create, a descendant selector for main nav UL. So let's select highway.css and a new selector, hash main nav space UL. And the list related properties are in the others section of the properties pane. Click that right down at the bottom, list style type, set that to none. The bullets disappear. Back up to the layout section and scroll down to padding. Click the chain icon in the center, select 0, click away. That removes the padding from the unordered list. Next, we need to create a style rule for the links inside main nav. So that's a new selector, hash main nav space A. And I'm going to give each link a width of 160 pixels. I'm also going to increase the padding around each link to make a larger clickable area. 2 pixels of padding on top, 5 pixels on the bottom, and 10 pixels on either side. And to make the entire link clickable, turn the display property to block. That's also in the layout section. There it is. Change it from inline to block. All our links are still stacked on top of each other, so we need to float them. Float left. And we've now got the basis of our navigation bar. Don't worry about this dotted line which goes through the middle of the navigation bar. That's because these elements are being floated, and that dotted line is actually the bottom of the header section. When elements are floated, they're taken out of the normal flow of the document, but this won't actually affect the final result, so don't worry about it. Right, let's make some changes to the text. I'm going to use a dark blue for the color, which will be hash 334759. And I'm going to set the font variant to small caps and set the font size to 20 pixels. And also set text align to center, so they're centered inside each little button. That doesn't center the navigation bar itself. We'll have to fix that a little bit later. This main nav A rule affects the links in all states, so what I want to do is to create another rule which will affect them in the hover, active and focus states. So add a new selector, and it will be hash main nav space A colon hover, comma, hash main nav space A colon active, comma, hash main nav space A colon focus. And all I want to do is to change the color to a much lighter blue, so I'll add that in there. It's hash 82 B75. Each link has a width of 160 pixels, but I've added 10 pixels of padding on each side, so that makes a total of 180 pixels. There are 5 links altogether, so that's 900 pixels. So we need to create a style rule for main nav, that's the nav element, make it 900 pixels wide, and then center it by setting the margins to auto. So let's do that. Hash main nav. And then in the layout section the width will be 900 pixels and margins on either side auto. And let's turn on live view, and F4 so we can see our handiwork. And there is the navigation bar. It's centered, and as I mouse over we get a different color. Converting an unordered list into a horizontal navigation bar is relatively simple. You remove the default padding and list style from the unordered list, then you give the links a specific width, set their display property to block, and float them to the left. To center the navigation bar, I calculated the overall width and created a style rule for its parent element, setting its width and the horizontal margins to auto.